Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me for meditation today. My name is Linsey, and today's meditation will be what I feel is the ultimate antidote to what's going on in everyone's life right now. I feel like everyone I've talked to, not only do we all have these national and global crises that we're dealing with, but everyone has this added layer of personal or familial crisis or problems they're trying to navigate or disarm or diffuse. So there's so many levels of stress and just spinning wheels of the mind, which yoga is the antidote for. And one way that we like to do meditation is by getting into the body and out of the head. This handy dandy little tool, I should get money for promoting this. I recommend it to so many people. These are conjoined myofascial release balls, and they're called RAD, R-A-D. You can get them on Amazon for like 25 bucks. If you do not have something like this, which most of you don't, I would say 2 tennis balls, 2 lacrosse balls, might be a little tougher on the tissues, but I like 2 tennis balls. Okay, if you don't have that, you can take a yoga block, and what we will do is simply walk up the thoracic spine with this. So we'll come into a supine position here in just a moment, and I'll show you how to do it. What you'll do is lay down on the ground, and you will take these balls underneath you as you lay down completely flat and flaccid. Okay? And where I like these balls to be positioned is in your mid-thoracic spine, or actually your lower thoracic spine to start. So what we will do is just find the very, very base of your rib cage, and you can feel around and put a tennis ball bilaterally on either side of your spinal column, or take these conjoined balls and just set your spinal column right in the middle. And of course, you'll take a minute to toy with this and to figure out where you want those babies. And you can always pause the video if you're like, I think I have tennis balls, or you can come back to this later if you know that maybe you have a neighbor that has one and want to borrow them. So unpause the video and we should be good to go. As you lay down over your tennis balls, your myofascial release balls, I'd like you to find a leg position that puts just the right amount of pressure on the tissues, right between your bones and these balls. So you might have constructive rest pose through your legs, you might have Supta Baddha Konasana, or maybe just Shavasana legs. Anything is appropriate. Hands out to the side, open palms, open chest. Depress your shoulder heads away from your chin. Settle in, big breath. And as you exhale, just depress your entire body down over this object or objects. Close your lids. And as you breathe, just very fluidly, you'll start to notice these points of intense sensation. Really zero in on the feeling. What kind of sensation is this? Is it pleasant? Is it a little uncomfortable? Is the body open to it, or does the body need just a few breaths to actually relax into this position? As your tissues melt and become less rigid, you might actually feel some sort of dancing sensation through the tissues over the balls. Energy movement. As the fibers of your muscles, of your fascia, begin to quietly and deliberately come into ease. Weight is equal from right to left side. And there's really nothing for you to do, but just lay here with the sensation. Let any tensions and any muscles that might be holding you up closer to midline diffuse. And allow this imagery of ice melting to water to creep into your mindset. Your body is like this tense and very condensed ice cube. Can we just allow that ice cube to soften, to melt, and to diffuse outward and downward? We are in this zone for just a couple more moments. Can you let the tissues invite these myofascial release or tennis balls deeper into the body? Almost as though they are not just open, but now inviting this pressure. Relaxation is a learned skill. So anytime you feel yourself holding or resistant to what's going on, simply remind yourself to come back into the safe, easy environment. And just simply to breathe. Now, it won't take a lot to move the balls, so don't jar yourself. Listen to my voice first. Take your feet, the soles of your feet to the earth. Bring your knees in just a little bit. So it's like you're setting up for bridge pose. And then simply drag your booty down towards your heels to roll the balls further up your spine. Your whole body moves down and the balls just roll up. If your balls are separate, they might need adjusting, but we want them up, another couple notches from the base of your thoracic spine. So find that next point of sensation, something that feels new, something that maybe feels good if we start to get to that mid part of the spine is my favorite. So just take a moment, adjust. Know that your leg position might be different in every spot that you stop. Find the leg position that's right for you. Breathe in totally and completely. And disband, exhale. And marinate in this specific sensation. Is there a difference in the feedback that these nerve endings and the signals that these nerve endings are sending than the previous spot on the spine? All of these ridges along this column, they are so important to our health. They have these long branches of nerves that come out and send messages all throughout the body. So not only does this help to relax the tissues, but it also, I feel like, changes my mood, the way that my body can respond to stimuli. It's just a really nice reset. Allow yourself to disarm. If you feel any hardening or any antagonist muscles in your chest hardening to kind of keep you up and off of that pressure, can you allow them to disarm so that you might give in just a little bit more to the experience, to the pressure, to the change? And allow that hardened ice cube to once again unfreeze and defrost. Slowly puddle outward and down, away from midline, almost toward the edges of your fingertips, your toes. Head might even soften. All extremities just become limp They aid in the process just by being heavy and utilizing that weight. Here for just a few more breaths. Stay with it, softening each and every time that you breathe, especially when you exhale. Notice that the sensation on this point of the spinal column has changed. Is the signaling different? Are you getting any different feedback from these tissues? And very slowly to bring the soles of your feet to the earth. Gather your knees together like you're closing some sort of book or journal. Inch your spinal column down so that your balls come up the spine just a bit further. And about this time, you should have it all right between the scapula, behind the lower part of your heart. Not only experimenting now with your leg position and what feels good here, but also with your arms. Would you like to cactus or T your arms? Would you like them on your belly for just a little bit more introspection? Wherever you are, your elbows are heavy and your heart is the highest point on your entire body. Breathe in and relax. Head deepens its groove into your yoga mat or the floor. Elbows subside in toward floor. And legs just simply melt out and downward away from pelvis. Feel the breath pattern now against these tools that we're using on the back side of the body. Can your breath be in partnership with these tools to affect positive change? Can you allow the breath to neither be too much or too little? Can you allow any of these connective tissues or muscular holdings to soften just enough to invite in some healing elasticity and room? Each of you will find a different spot that is more rewarding than the others. This, for me, this specific spot, which I know might be a little different on you than it is on me, is highly rewarding. Some days I feel like just taking 2 to 3 minutes in this one spot can change my mood for the entire day and thus the trajectory of my path. And it's up to you. If you need a couple more moments and some spot that feels really delicious and rewarding, you take your time there. Really almost feeling like this self massage, like you're able to tell your masseuse, oh, yeah, that feels good. Spend an extra 10 minutes in that spot. In some areas, you might even feel some small articulations of the bones. You might hear a crack or feel a little gentle adjustment as things repattern out, smooth, settle. And these last couple of breaths, perseverate on the back of your rib cage, gently pressing and playing into those tools. Just a little bit more. Can you breathe not just in the front side of your chest, but also throughout the entirety of your thoracic cavity? Can the entire thing change shape? You are more than welcome to spend more time here if you'd like. But if you're ready to move on, soles of feet to floor, slowly inch your sacrum down toward your heels and just find, well, we'll just take a couple more spots. So just find one more spot that feels really good. This time it might be at heart line or slightly above. Make sure that you feel evenness from side to side. Nothing has gone wonky. You don't have one tennis ball lower than the other. Your conjoined balls are not cattywampus. And your body will know where it wants to go if you don't overthink it. So find some sort of positioning that feels symmetrical, supported. Deep breath in. And exhale, just give it into gravity. No more thinking right now. Feel, breathe. Be super present with every single little electrical impulse and nuance that's within your being in this present moment. Time is one of the best assets that we have in yoga. It's one of the most important tools. So if you find yourself ready to move on, just invite yourself to stay. There's something for you here. There's a reason that we're here right now. It's intentional. Be with it. As you breathe, you might almost envision this shushumna, or this vibrant energy channel that yogis say run up and down your spinal column and cord. It is the most vibrant of your energies. Kundalini yogis work their entire lives to move this energy up through the chakra system, out the crown of the head for enlightenment. And so whether your goal is to simply iron out some tissues for sport, maybe to feel some sort of anxiety relief or change in temperament, or maybe to work up this palpable yogic energy for enlightenment, we can all do it together. Simply, non-esoterically. For your last stop, I will invite you to either move quarter to a half inch up, something that feels as though it completes the system. Or my favorite way to end this kind of meditation where you really focus on sensation is to take these balls right to my occiput or the base of my skull. And not just there, but maybe up another inch. If you have tennis balls, I'd say just one tennis ball feels even better. I love just one tennis ball. And this isn't an exact science. What you'll do is rest your head and just kind of rock your chin from side to side, up and down, move the balls around until you feel magic. Wherever you feel the sensation that says, oh my gosh, I need this pressure right now, it's where you stay. And you might find stillness, or you might find some sort of cross fiber massage as you just gently, almost like you're rocking a baby, take your chin in opposite directions. Again, very slowly. Let's breathe in, breathe out. Noticing the slight differences in the tissues as they come upward. Are the tissues thicker, thinner? Do they give more or less feedback? Not to judge, but just to notice so that we become more sensitive and in tune with our energies. If there's any great one place to stop, if you are wagging your chin from side to side, invite yourself to just take a rest stop there for a moment and breathe fluidly over that sensation. That trigger point might be something that needs released on some level. So just work with it compassionately. You are welcome to stay here as long as feels good. In fact, I invite you anytime you do these meditations to turn the autoplay off of your YouTube channel and to just melt there for as long as you need after my voice and my guidance is done. But when you are ready to go on with your day, you'll simply remove any tools out from underneath your spine, your skull, and you'll take a couple of breaths with eyes closed to notice how you feel and how you're breathing. Maybe to notice how it feels to not worry about your cell phone or your to-do list or anything else for just a few moments. Meditation is always like a little reset button for me. Whatever sort of mood or way I was behaving beforehand, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent, this is just kind of a conscious place to move forward. So as you inhale, take your arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, bring your hands to heart center. And let's just set an intention for how we'd like to come out of this meditation. What is our way of being and interacting with ourselves in the world as we come out? Thank you so much for entrusting me with your practice today. And thank you so much for meditating in a time when we truly need it. Namaste.